Hey everyone, and welcome back to Faith and Flour. If you're new, my name is Robin. I've had a lot of requests for more recipes, and today I'm going to show you how I make 3 of my family's favorites. They are perfect for the winter because they are healthy and hearty. They are also budget and family friendly, and best of all, easy to make. So let's get started and I'll show you how I make them. The first recipe is for lentil tacos. For over the past year and a half or so, my family has been trying to eat more plant-based meals and try to limit our intake of meat. So when I first made these tacos, I wondered how my family would react, but they loved them and my son kept raving about them. Lentils take the place of ground beef in this recipe, and if my son, who is a meat lover, loved it, your family will too. So as you can see, we just start with 1 chopped onion, and to that I'll add a little bit of olive oil. Sauté the onions over a medium-low heat until they start to caramelize. When the onions are tender and have started to turn brown, you can add 1 cup of rinsed lentils. I've tried both brown and green lentils in this recipe and both work great. Lentils are a great source of fiber, iron, protein, and a lot of essential vitamins and minerals, plus they're a lot cheaper than ground beef. Add 2 cups of broth to the lentils, and I'm using vegetable broth, but you could substitute beef or chicken. When the lentils have come to a boil, you can turn down the heat to low, cover, and allow to simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes or until the lentils are tender. While the lentils are cooking, I like to make some fresh guacamole to go on top of the tacos. For this, I'll use the juice of 1 lime. You'll need 4 small avocados like I have here, or 2 large ones, some pickled jalapeno peppers, some salt and pepper, and then I like to put in some dried minced onion, and if I have it, fresh cilantro. You can put fresh diced onion into the guacamole instead of the dried minced onion if you prefer that. I just don't like the strong onion flavor, so this is the way I like it. And I put everything in the bowl and just mash it together with a fork, and it's done. When the lentils are tender and most of the liquid has been soaked up, then I like to add some taco seasoning, and I'm using this one by Frontera, this chicken taco skillet sauce. It is made for chicken, but it works great on the lentils, and if you prefer, you can stir in some salsa or whatever kind of taco seasoning or packet that you like to put in your ground beef. And as you can see, I have my taco shells here waiting to go in the oven. I will cook those at about 350 for just a few minutes to crisp them up. Some of our favorite taco toppings are lettuce, cheddar cheese, of course the guacamole that I made, and then this corn salsa from Trader Joe's is a family favorite, but you guys can add whatever your family loves to put on top of tacos. If your family loves taco night, they're going to love this as well, and it's so much healthier than tacos made with ground beef. We've also used soft taco shells in place of the hard ones, so whatever you guys like, you can feel free to substitute. I know your family's gonna love them. This next recipe is a white bean, sausage, and kale soup. And I'm using a Trader Joe's chicken sausage for this and just a little bit to flavor the soup. Again, we'll start by dicing up an onion. Then I'm just taking 2 of the sausages and dicing them into small pieces. To the onions and the sausage, I'll add a little bit of olive oil and then saute them over medium heat for a few minutes, enough time to caramelize the onions and for the sausage to start browning. Once the sausage and onions are ready, I add some garlic, and I found this recently at Trader Joe's and also my regular grocery store in the freezer section, and they're just little frozen cubes of garlic, so they're super convenient, and each little square is about a teaspoon, or you can use 2 teaspoons of chopped fresh garlic. Then I add about 1.5 boxes, which is 6 cups of vegetable stock, and again, you can substitute chicken or beef stock. I'm adding Great Northern beans, and these are some that I have cooked previously in my Instant Pot that were dried, but you can definitely use canned, and for this recipe I would say 1 can of beans works great. Any kind of white bean or even lentils would be great in this soup. Once the soup has come to a boil, I add about half a package of this kale. You can add as much or as little as you like. This one is just very convenient. I found it at Trader Joe's and it's already chopped and washed. Once the soup comes back to a boil, cover it, lower the heat to simmer, and then set your timer for 40 minutes for it to cook. Just a little bit of chicken sausage gives this soup a lot of flavor, and it's very hearty with the beans. And if your family is not a big fan of kale, don't worry, it becomes very tender in this soup and they will hardly know they're eating something healthy. It's even better topped with some Parmesan cheese. I'm going to be serving this next recipe with rice, so I'm going to start by making it in my Instant Pot. And if you guys have an Instant Pot and you're not using it to make rice, you should be. It is so easy and it comes out perfect every time. You just put in equal parts of rice and water, a little bit of salt, give it a stir, and then cover your Instant Pot and make sure that the pressure valve is set to sealing. And mine has a rice feature on there, but it takes just about 10 minutes, and in no time you have perfectly cooked rice. When we started eating more plant-based meals, I found this recipe book by the Minimalist Baker, and it is full of great recipes, and that's where I found this one, and it's called Coconut Red Curry Vegetable Soup. I will put a link in my description box below in case you guys are interested. This soup comes together really fast, so while my rice is cooking in the Instant Pot, I will chop up all the vegetables. This recipe calls for 1 cup of onion, 1/4 cup of diced carrots, 1 cup of sliced mushrooms, and 3/4 cup of fresh tomato. I usually add more carrots and mushrooms than the recipe calls for because we really like it full of vegetables. Add a tablespoon of coconut oil to your soup pot and turn your stove on to medium heat. Then add the carrots and the onions. Cook for 2 or 3 minutes and then add salt and pepper. Then add about 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic, and again I'm using the frozen garlic just for convenience sake, but you can certainly use fresh garlic. The recipe calls for fresh ginger, so the same company makes frozen ginger just like the garlic, and so I'm putting in about 3 teaspoons of that too. Whether using fresh or frozen ginger and garlic, give it a few minutes to cook with the carrots and the onions, and then add 2 tablespoons of red curry paste. And if you don't have the red curry paste, you can definitely substitute about 1 to 2 tablespoons of curry powder in its place. I do recommend the curry paste if you can find it, and I have found it in most grocery stores in the Asian section. It definitely will give this soup a more authentic Thai flavor. Then add your mushrooms and tomatoes and give everything a good stir to make sure all the vegetables are coated with the curry. Season with a little bit more salt. Now add 2 cans of coconut milk, and I like to use the reduced fat one for this recipe. And if your home is cold like ours is right now, the coconut milk may have solids in it, but don't worry about that. They will melt into the soup. Add 3/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. The turmeric gives a great flavor to the soup, and it also has a lot of great health benefits. The last thing to add is about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and this will sweeten up the soup just enough to bring out the coconut flavor. Allow the soup to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until the carrots are tender and the flavors have come together. This soup is great with a scoop of jasmine rice and also with rice noodles. I know your family will love it either way. I hope you guys will give these recipes a try, and if you do, let me know how your family liked them. If you liked today's video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Make sure to activate the bell icon so that you're notified each time I publish a new video and you won't miss a thing. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.